I was just sitting there trying to think of the exact path I took when I came back from Japan. I flew from Narita Airport to Anchorage and then to San Francisco. Then I flew from San Francisco to LAX. Then I'm pretty sure I visited Mike and Alona. I had to. And then I got a auto driveway car going from LAX, from LA to Phoenix. Then I spent a couple days in Mark's house. He lived in Scottsdale back then. He lived in Scottsdale. And remember, he went to work, and for the first time since before boot camp, I was alone. I went, wow. Spent 2 years on the Midway, boot camp, A school, BW school. Now I'm alone. Wow. You know, Mark was at work. Mark said, hey, Cousin Mark. And then I took the auto driveway. No, LA to Phoenix, the Scottsdale, Phoenix. Then I got an auto driveway car from there to not North Hollywood, but North Miami, South Fort Lauderdale, between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. And Dad and Mary Clyde were down there for a wedding. And I met them at the place of the wedding. It turns out the owner of that car was half a mile away. And Dad let me borrow his car and drive his car back. And he and Mary Clyde flew back. That's right. Then I drove from there to Naples and talked to Rich Rhoda. Then I drove up the west coast of Florida and visited Mom in Sarasota. She lives in an apartment building and by herself. And remember, I parked the car. I got out. And she's on the balcony going, "Hi, sailor, hi, sailor." My son, the sailor. She was in good spirits. That was 30 years ago. That was 30 years ago. Wow. When I came back from the Midway, it was 30 years ago. Well, 29 and a half, because I came back in June. I left in June and came back in June. I was in my A school till May. Had a month's leave. So when I got to Japan, it was like middle of June. It was around my birthday, maybe a couple days later. Yeah, not the middle, like June 19th. It was right about my birthday. When I came back, it was about the same time of year because it was 2 years on the Midway. I made second class on the Midway. Went to Sydney, Australia on the Midway. Went to Mombasa, Kenya on the Midway. Went to Hong Kong a couple times on the Midway. Went to Busan, Korea on the Midway. Went to Pattaya Beach in Thailand and Bangkok on the Midway. Saw the mighty Missouri parked the battleship parked right in front of us and fired his guns that went 45 miles in the distance and splashed in the ocean on the Midway. Wow. We did more stuff on the Midway than on the Indy. I don't remember going anywhere on the Indy. There's a shield. We went to see Flight of the Intruder, the movie, for 3 weeks. And a couple of little short things after the dry dock there in Philadelphia. And dry dock before I got there. They took around the tip of South America. The Horn. Is that the Horn or is that Africa? What's the point of below Argentina and Chile? Not the Panama Canal, it's not big enough for a carrier. And I went to more places on the Mid. I got the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal and ribbon on the Midway. The Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal. I had 4 medals. I had 4 rows of ribbons. Got most of that stuff on the Midway. I met Keith College from baseball, Moon Township, on the Midway. He was a lieutenant. He was the officer at the deck. I was a master at arms walking through the hangar bay. He yelled from across the hangar bay, "Hey, petty officer, come here." I was like, "Me?" Just, call it petty officer, but he couldn't see my name. He got my attention. So I walked up to him, and we were talking for about 20 seconds. And I went, "Keith, is that you?" He goes, "Mike?" I went, "No, it's Lee." He goes, "That's right. Keith College from the Dodgers, from Mooncrest, was on the Midway in Japan. I went to his house and had dinner with him, that Christmas season. That was late 86. Then he must have transferred. I never saw him again. I wonder what happened to him. He was a lieutenant, dressed whites. He was the officer of the day. And the dry dock had just ended, and we're going to go to sea for the first time ever, for me, since the dry dock started. And he instructed me. The reason why he wanted the master at arms, I was a master at arms. The reason why he wanted a master at arms was he wanted somebody to stand on the brow, pulling people's IDs who was late. You could be 1 minute late. Liberty was secured at 7:00 a.m. People would come. No big deal. 5 minutes. We had to take their ID. Tell it to the captain while they were late. And all of a sudden, this one Lieutenant JG comes on board, and Keith runs out and goes, "Stop! Don't take his ID. He's my relief." Because they were going to change, it's from 4 to 8, so it's 3:30 to 7:30 a.m. I was a master at arms for 3 months on the Midway. Walked around with a billy club and web belt and his badge. I was a master at arms. I always got picked to do things in E Division and fill first class's billets because I was older and more mature, they'd say. There was a third class doing a job for a first class. Master at arms. I was a master at arms. I was a cop. I had to walk around the ship, O2 level, down to the bilge. Constantly, all day long. And every so often I have to, like a roving patrol, I had to sign in somewhere to prove that I was there and walking around. I slept somewhere else for that period, in different berthing even. I forgot all about that. Then I was a shore patrol the other times. I was always a master at arms or shore patrol. Always security. But I was an ice seaman. Then I bid on the job. I heard about it in LC, Logistics Support Center. And I got it. Because I'm mature. I'm older than anybody else. I was as old as my recruiter. I was as old as my company commander, who was a Filipino, in boot camp. He might have been 5 months older than me, but, and here he was in E3, and he was a chief petty officer. I figured about 10 years, I'd be a senior chief or at least a chief. Then the Bush cutbacks made my rate so overmanned that you can't get advanced. People go, look at that score. You did make second or first or, huh? They couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I went 9 years and never got further than E5. Wow. I should have been a chief or a senior chief or a master chief by 12 years. The way I was going in boot camp, the first year, made third class before I went to Midway. E4. That's impossible. Then 2 years later, less than 2 years later, I made E5 and remained E5 the entire time. Made E5 on the Midway. My third try making E5. I made it every other time, but there were no billets open. You know, my test scores were high enough to do it, but they couldn't advance me because there weren't any openings. It's not on the Midway, it's Navy-wide. That part of the world. Southeast Asia and probably San Diego. I'm not sure. The 7th Fleet. I'm not sure anymore how they do. So Bush, because Reagan was pushing for a 750 ship Navy. Then Bush Sr. became president and went from almost 800 ships down to 500 or 450. Then they shut down bases like Clark Air Force Base and the biggest military base in the world. They shut down hundreds of bases around the world. That affects everybody. When you become 95% man, when you're 95% man, then like a twinkling of an eye, your rate is 140% man, you'll never get advanced. You gotta wait till 40% of the people retire or die. How else are you gonna get advanced? The rate can't be more than 100% man. If not, you're wasting money. They pull too many people, or you gotta start a war. That's what our government does. Let's have a war. But, so anyhow, I took Dad's car to the Naples, Sarasota, then to Huntington. Then he let me drive it. It was a Chevy something. It was white with a black top. The Great Lakes for Idler School. I checked into Great Lakes. First of all, on the way there, I stopped by the Stell Group. That's right. I'd never been up there. It was right beside Wisconsin. Kennewa, Moisany, Milwaukee was about 40 miles away. About 50 miles from Chicago, the Great Lakes base. That's where boot camp is now. And it was the summertime, so it was hot and humid. God. And I checked in on base. They said, oh, you're an E5, huh? We're going to make you a platoon leader. I was like, huh? I'm here to go to one of the hardest schools ever in the Navy. And you're going to do what? You're going to be a platoon leader. And I was. Gee. I was in charge of guys who just got out of boot camp, who had to go to school for a month, but weren't designated. When you're a fireman, an airman, or a seaman, you have to go to school for a month for the basics. You're non-designated, it's called. I had 35 guys I was in charge of, and there was 4 platoon leaders, and I became my class leader of my school, of Idler School. The Integrated Launch and Recovery Airplane System. Integrated Launch and Recovery tracking system. The cameras that film the flight ops. That's what they are. Big cameras, torpedo shaped. You know, like 5 feet long. One circuit board with the schematics were 15 feet wide. One circuit board. One circuit board. Get to the Indy. If something goes wrong, they just replace the camera. Why do you go through all this training when you don't use it? Pretty stupid. Waste of time. But yeah, went to I Love School with blue suede shoes, played ping pong up there, about 50 miles from base. It was a great neighborhood. I beat the bar champion. I smoked there. Nobody could beat me. And had fun on Sundays. On Saturday, on Friday night, there's a place called Blue Suede Shoes. I'd go there about 10 o'clock after class till 1 or 2 in the morning. Dance, drink beer, and that was it. Not too much because I was driving. But I'd have a few, but you had to be really, really careful. Because driving across the base, you don't want to get caught with alcohol on your breath at a gate, at a base. No, they'll hammer you. But that was from July until October. Yeah, it's about 12 weeks, maybe longer. I mean, it was a school, and very detailed. That's why they call it the C school. It takes something you focus on it, like the gyros, the phone system, the Dimensions 2000 system, sound-powered phones, the general analysis. I was going to say the general analysis system was like 5 parts of that, 1MC through 5MC. That's not a C school. Alarm and warning. They gave me ILARs in my C school. I would have been working in the air department. And me and Rod Bradshaw, who got orders for the Midway after I was gone. I mean, the Indy. That's before I was on the Indy. So I drove, when the school was over, I drove from Great Lakes back to Dad's house in Huntington. Then I flew to Chicago O'Hare Airport, then to San Diego. I called a cab at the airport, and the guy drove me to the Indy, to North Island. And I checked on board the Indy. They said, "We just got here a few minutes ago from Philadelphia. You don't have to check in until Monday. Get out of here." They're like, "Have fun." I was like, "Are you serious? Okay." I wanted to have to twist my arm. I took my sea bag and other stuff. I found a rack somewhere, and it wasn't easy vision. It was somewhere for people in transit. And I locked it up with a combination lock to a rack. Took some clothes out of it, put them in a bag. I don't even remember. Then I called a cab to the sports arena area. Got a hotel. Went to swap meets and just hung out and drank and beer and had fun for 3 days. I checked on board the Indy officially on Monday. Bought my hat at the ship's store. My USS Independence hat. That was a real hat. That was late October, November 1988. Okay. Me, myself, a guy named Carbonell, last name, and some guy from Thailand who was Americanized, a young guy. His last name was Thai. He was from Vietnam. He's from Vietnam. The three of us went through alarm and warning school at the boot camp base in the BEE building, the same building where I had BEE, basic electricity and electronics. Same floor, just down the hall. That was a huge building. Huge. I mean, huge building. 3 stories high and about 500 yards wide and long. Huge building. That school was about 5 weeks. I came back and graduated, at that class. That's where I got the earrings. One of the instructors he works with silver coins. We cut them using a coping saw, a diamond coping saw, make earrings, necklaces, all kinds of stuff out of silver dollars, half dollars, silver dimes, mercury dimes. That's how I got them from there. Wow. And then they put me in charge of the alarm and warning shop. I was a work center. I was a senior guy on the E division on the Midway, on the Indy. Me, because I made second class on the Midway. Even Mike Mitchell and Lonnie Phillips were E4s. I was the only second class. No chief, no warrant officer, yet nothing. Just division officer, guys who worked in the office. Master Chief Farmer, Ted Kimes, which I ended up working there, the supply PO. When I first got there, I did. I was trying to get Angie over here, all that. Finally did in the fiancé visa program, 1989. Lived with Jim Zebro in North Park. And Jim Zebro ran off with Angie. He was an IC3. He worked in the forward IC. I worked in the aft IC. Both shops had a gyroscope. The gyro. Forward IC had the phone system and the gyroscope on the Indy. Aft IC had all the switchboards for that part of the ship and the gyroscope. It was a vertical ladder to get in there. About 2 decks down. It wasn't a ladder that you walked down. You had to climb down. Aft IC. And there was a hatch. They squeezed through to get out of there. I remember doing PMS on that switchboard once. God, cleaned it you imagine how many hundreds and hundreds of connections were in there? 440 volts, 220 volts, 110. Yeah, make sure it was dead. It'd kill you. Where was I? What? On the Midway and the Indy. And I went to shore at the 3 years. I guess I was going to go to the Philippines for shore duty. I was driving to Mark's house in Tempe, and Mount Pinatubo blew its top near Clark Air Force Base. I called the detailer back up and I said, I don't think I want to go to the Philippines now. I'll spend the entire time cleaning up this mess. He goes, you're right, you would, because it was buried. I mean, it buried places. That was a huge volcano. Remember that? That must have been 91. Because I just passed Yuma, Arizona. And that thing, I heard on the the Volvo, that thing blew its top. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. In the Philippines? What close Clark, that's probably why they shut down Clark Air Force Base. No, they had already shut. Clark Air Force Base was huge. It was 5 miles from the main gate to the first barracks. Before you found anything, it was 5 miles. I was like, why? Why do you have all this room here? Nothing here. You had to hire a cab or a jeepney. You couldn't walk that. That's where the airport was. I had to take a MAC flight to Japan back there. It was there. That's why I was there. The Indian one, that's like 200 miles. That's near Manila. That's 3 miles, three and a half miles by bus away. Manila from Olongapo. Dina Lupion was 30 miles from Olongapo towards Manila. About 2.5 to 3 miles, 3 hours from Manila by bus or car, yes. And that was when Al Qaeda just got started. And there's Al Qaeda people in the Philippines. That's where it started. Remember, one commander was killed for some reason by these people. They would stop the bus, get 50 cents a person. They wouldn't rob you, but you had to give them a token, each person, for you to pass. Wear hoods over their face. That never happened to me, but it happened to a lot of people. That's why I took Mark Smigelski to Angie's house. I needed a buddy. I worked with Mark in LC. That's how I met Sheila. Because Sheila was there, sitting on the floor staring at us. Me and Mark Smigelski. And they got married. Angie's sister. Sheila Reyes. Angela Reyes. Angie. Now that was a real marriage. To me it was. Well, it lasted 3 months. Fucking Jim Zebro. It took me 2.5 years to get her over here. A lot of money. PNSA visa program. Jeez. Fees. Pay for the trip. Flight. Hotels. My salary. I didn't do hardly anything for a year. 2 years. I couldn't afford it. Wasn't married. Anyhow, boy, isn't life strange? Here I am in Winslow, Arizona. Last night the power went out. Who was here to fix it? At 4 in the morning. I had to go out there and find the breaker box in the laundry room and trip every breaker. It fucked my TV up. It took me half an hour to get that thing back up. Then I was in here. All of a sudden the power came back on. I was putting my shoes on. I was wearing those things at first. No shirt. I was sitting right there when the power went out, getting ready to lay down. Couldn't see a thing. Good thing I had the flashlight, but it broke my neck. And that guy next door, half of his place's power went out. I was like, what the hell's wrong with this place? I looked in the breaker box. I said, that breaker box needs replaced. I mean, it's falling apart. No wonder why it's blowing breakers. They got to be, instead of being 10 amps, they should be 20. And modern, it's probably from the late 60s or 70s. It looks like, remember they had fuses? Looks like the technology that they used when they first started having breaker boxes back in like 70. This place is probably from that era. Probably was. This place used to be a hotel. Obviously. Now it's called the Bel Air Apartments. Nothing here. Nothing. No beauty. No plants. No gardens. 7 lanes of Second Avenue, one way, 7 lanes on the other side, Third Avenue. 2 miles away is Circle K. 3 miles away is Safeway. 3.5 miles away is Walmart. You gonna walk that? I'm not. No bus. Place sickening. I would never want to. Winslow would be a nice place to visit because of the song. I'm standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. Take it easy. The Eagles, back in 1977. Glenn Fry's dead, you know. He died 2 years ago. Most of the guys from the Eagles are dead. Oh, it's romantic. Oh, yeah, right. No girls. Not one. Reminds me of the Midway. But until I got to McKee that there's girls. I mean, jeez. No friends. That guy, when Terry and I and Mike O'Donnell were here the first time, remember Terry goes, that guy's probably on meth. His name's Robert. He's the best guy here. He works at Walmart. He's a janitor. He helped me out when I fell on my head. I was coming back from Circle K and got into his car. Then the next thing I knew, I was on my back with my headphones on. My headphones went flying. He goes, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah, a little bit of blood." He held out his hand. I said, "You ready? Are you planted? I'm going to put a lot of force in your hand. You have 150 pounds pretty soon." I said, "Ready?" I pulled his hand, got up. Then he shined a flashlight so I could see the keyhole. I was like, it was so dark I couldn't see. Pavement's all uneven. You're like bouncing around. No wonder why I fell. I'm amazed I made it. Jeez, the sidewalks are horrible. I haven't walked down the Circle K yet since. I'm not going to take a chance to walk around here. No sidewalks. Or if they are, if they're broken up, and they're real steep where the entries for vehicles are. There's things cut into the sidewalk. There's nothing there. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The last time I tried to walk somewhere, La Posada, and then Circle K, there's bees and wasps everywhere. The sidewalks are real narrow, and there's shit on the left, right at your elbow, and there's wasps and bees. You're trying to walk, and there's thousands and thousands of bees and wasps, hornets. I was like, geez, if I don't get stung, or if I fall, I'm fucked.